Hey there, Franklin. Thanks for attaching the part here. So if we go into your sketch, it looks like you have 10 degrees of freedom needed. And here's your center point, so it's just kind of floating into space. If you show all the degrees, you can see that this isn't attached to the other stuff. So if we come to the origin, take our center point and project it so now it's visible, we can select all this stuff and we can move it by the base point to the center point. So that way it's centered to there. You'll notice that there's still a lot of degrees of freedom. So first off, I'm going to delete this pattern, and then I'm going to go in, delete that pattern, and again with this part. So now what we have is one little section here. Now what you're doing is trying to mirror it all at once or rotate it. So if we make a line to the midpoint here, and there, and then trim this off. So that's pretty much one section of the fidget. You'll notice that we can have a bunch of degrees of freedom, so let's lock it all down. So put the center point onto the home there, and then let's make these in line with that, and in line with there. Now I'm not really sure what this actual box is doing, unless you're wanting it to define the actual outside envelope of it, which in case, let's just delete these and make this tangent to there and the top equal with the side. So this now will go, let's see, moves up and down, and this one isn't in the middle, so let's make that one in line with the middle. So you know that this is an offset distance, should be a quarter or an eighth, and we can just make these two the same, and again with this one, just make it the same as that. Now, I don't think that these, yeah, so we're going to make these tangent, so it's a smooth arc all the way through. I'm going to trim these off. Okay, so we still have some degrees of freedom here, so this thing's coming up and down. So let's define this at 4.725. So now we have 2 degrees of freedom needed, which is probably these ones. So first we should have done this at 120. Now if we have 360 over 3, I'll show you why. So we have a dimension there, and a dimension here. So now they're both equal, so anytime that this changes, that'll change. And as far as this dimension goes, that should be the same as that. So once you have everything defined, you can extrude it both ways, and then we'll do a rotational pattern along the center line and make that our 3. So then we have our spinner. We can come into the functions and just add a numeric as called number, make it a unitless constraint, so that's so it's not inches. Change this to 3, and then we can enter in our number here and around here too, so that way anytime we change the number, it'll update inside the parameters. Let's add one more here for the outside dimension, so that 4.725, make that just OD. And the more complex you can get, you can rename things. So if we just add these quick to a form, then we can just change the OD real quick to 5 and number 4.